Well, didn't even realize I was live. Okay, let me get everything set up. Okay. Looks like we are all set up. One last thing to do, I'm gonna put up my chat real quick. Here we go. Okay. All right. Looks like we're live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the live stream. If you are here hanging out, thank you so much for dropping by. And if you're watching this as a VOD, thanks for checking it out. I am back playing Nier Replicant. We're going to be making some progress in the story tonight. This is my very first playthrough, so please no spoilers. And if you're interested in following the journey, do consider hitting subscribe or follow. But we're back and we're going to make some good progress in the story tonight. And I am looking forward to this. Because last stream we pretty much focused on like a ton of side quests and it just completely ignored the story. So it feels good to finally be making some progress back in the story. And yeah, let's see where this goes. Because honestly, even though we are like 6 or so hours in, I feel like we're still very, very early in the story. I'm really... God. Just gotta lower the volume on this. Okay, we're all set now. But yeah, it feels good to be back. I haven't been streaming as much as I wanted to this week because I've just been having so much fun recording Star Fox Adventures and Monster Hunter Stories. I was not expecting to have as much fun as I'm having with Monster Hunter Stories, to be honest. It caught me off guard just how much I was going to like that game. It's surprisingly simple. You know, like when I think of the Monster Hunter series, I think it's like, you know, it is straightforward. You just go out and hunt monsters, but there's so much that you can collect and upgrade and refine and just develop that it can be a little bit overwhelming for a new player. So I was kind of not sure if the Monster Hunter Story series was going to be as in-depth as the mainline games, and you know, it's definitely not. But that's not a bad thing because I've been enjoying the story, I've been enjoying the gameplay, raising monsters, it's fun. I mean, we essentially are, you know, stealing monsters' babies. We're going into monster dens and like stealing the eggs straight from the nest so we could like raise them and use them in the battle. But it's fun. It's fun. I've enjoyed it. I'm probably like 2 to 4 hours in and the story's finally picking up. We're finally starting to get out into the world and it's great. Great. And Star Fox Adventures, I honestly was not expecting to like it as much as I was. I kind of remembered having like some issues with it as a kid, but so far, oh dude, it's just been so fun to replay that game. It's one of those games that I just went in kind of expecting to be like whatever's about it, but man, it has just been blowing me away with how fun it is. Don't get me wrong, the combat in that game is still like not that great, but just gameplay wise, story, you know, getting to play Fox in like a Zelda like game, it's great, dude. But enough babbling. Let's progress the story.
Yona?
Oh, hey.
How are you feeling?
Better, now that I'm taking the medicine you brought.
Good.
Are you gonna stay here today?
You bet.
Really? You'll stay with me? Real?
Yeah, Yona. I'll stay.
Yay!
Now get back to bed.
Okay.
Something's gonna happen. Also, I wonder if that choice that I made had any effect on an ending. I know this game has about five endings. I wonder if that choice will lead me to one. I hear a voice. I squint and see a boy standing before me. His hair is silver, his skin is pale. He stares up and with hard, glassy eyes. Soon his lips begin to move, but no sound comes out. What is he saying? Can't hear him. Can't hear him. Can't hear him. I can't hear him. I can't. I try to leave, but something about the boy holds my gaze. I watch his face, expressionless as his lips slowly flutter. What is he trying to say? Wait, it's a phrase. I can almost make it out. It starts with an S, then there's an E. I can almost see it now. The letters begin to fall together, one after the other, faster and faster. Sealed verse. It's a sealed verse. The thing I'm looking for, the key to saving my sister. I stare at the boy with renewed ferocity, trying desperately to make out his next word. Dream. Dream? What the hell does that mean? The lips move again, faster now. I can't follow them. Damn it. I can't make it out. I want to scream. I want to tear the walls down around me. But instead, I force myself to be calm. I can do this. I can do it for Yona. Slowly, ever so slowly, I parse out the letters to make up the final words. Forest of Myth. The next morning.
Just a dream. Even in my dreams, I'm hunting sealed verses.
Morning.
Morning, Yona.
What's wrong? Are you feeling sick too?
No, I had a strange dream.
What was it about?
It's nothing. Don't worry about it.
'Cause I had a dream too.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Me and this boy were playing a game together.
What kind of game?
It was called Guess the Words. I think he made it up because I never heard of it before.
How did it work?
The boy would move his mouth, but no words would come out. Then I had to guess what he was trying to say.
That's the same dream that we had.
It was hard. I wanted to play hide and seek, but we had to play his dumb game instead.
So what did he say?
I don't know. All I could figure out was dream and forest of myth. But don't worry, I'm gonna study hard so that next time I can figure out everything. We should play a game together sometime too.
Sure, Yona.
I'm ready to make that stew anytime.
Okay, so she had the same dream as us. And that's kind of interesting to me because it reminds me very much of Titus and the whole faith dreaming Xanarkand. Spoilers if you haven't played Final Fantasy X.
Something troubling you, lad?
It's nothing. Don't worry about it. Come on, I need to go ask Popola something.
Alright, let's go. Interesting. So I really wonder what boy she had seen, because that's the exact same dream that we were having. Yo, hey Ronan, thanks for the raid, dude. Hope you're doing well. Hope everybody who raided over is doing well. I'm on the receiving end of the Ronaning. It was very nice. Hey unit, hey loot. Welcome in, welcome in. I hope you all are doing fantastic tonight. Welcome in, welcome in. As I mentioned to Ronan, I usually don't play Warzone or shooters. I'm usually playing a variety of usually JRPGs, Souls, retro games. I mainly stay away from the shooters because like I'm pretty bad at them. But maybe one day I'll join y'all in some of those games. But full disclosure, if I ever join you guys are gonna be mad carrying me. Hey, I'm doing good, man. How are you? How are you? Sibylman? Sorry, I'm sorry. How do I pronounce your name? Could you write it out for me? Is it just Sibylminal? We love a variety. Subliminal. Okay, cool. Appreciate it, dude. Welcome in, Subliminal. Welcome in, dude. I hope you're doing well. We love a variety streamer here. I'm pretty big variety, so that's me. But yeah, welcome in, everybody. Dearest Popola, hope this letter finds you well. I am writing in the hopes of bringing to your attention a certain dream issue of concern regarding recent events in Dream the Village. I was hoping I might be able to get your advice, Dream, on this matter. Recently, there have been dream reports. Dream of certain... Dude, this is not... Okay, I thought I was going crazy. There's a lot of mentions of dream in this letter. What's going on here? It just kind of goes about dream, curse, evil dream. That's very weird. Who sent this letter to her?
That is certainly one bizarre piece of writing.
Who's it from?
The mayor of a small village in the Forest of Myth.
Oh, that's where we gotta
It's
go.
a wooded area up north.
The Forest of Myth?
They're usually a bright and cheerful group of people. Something like this is very out of character for them. I have a bad feeling about this.
I'll check it out.
You will? But...
Don't worry about it. I've got business there anyway.
Oh, well, alright. Thank you.
Okay. Very interesting. Just for some context, prior to this meeting with this lady in the library, the character we're playing as and his sister both shared a dream where they dreamed of a young boy mouthing words to them. Our main character got the words Sealed Verse and Forest of Myth, and our sister apparently was told Dream and Forest Myth. Just for some context, this is a game called Nier Replicant. It started off as part of the Dragon series back on the PS2. It's kind of like a JRPG, action JRPG sort of thing, action RPG, I guess you might even say. And it's pretty cool. There's a ton of lore going on in this game. If you are a very like lore-centric gamer, this series is phenomenal for the amount of lore that it has. There's a lot going on here. There's a lot going on in the series. There's like an anime, there's a bunch of books, and I think that the author of this series is like notorious for like not showing his face. I believe he kind of has this like he always has like this mask or like this like image over his face. Let me see, I can pull it up for you guys real quick for anyone curious. I think it's pretty cool. I mean, this is my first experience with this series, so I've only heard secondhand that the lore in this series is like phenomenal, and I wanted to see what it was all about. Let me see, yep, here it is. His name is Yoko Taro, and he, like, in all the photos of him, you'll like never see his face. It's pretty similar to Oda from One Piece. Oda from One Piece also does not really ever show his face. He always has like a fish like drawing over his face. So this guy is pretty similar. Like, apparently he does not show his face either. And I don't know if these folks, I'm pretty sure they do it for privacy reasons, because these are pretty big series for where they're from. Like, these are just big series. So I imagine for like privacy reasons and just trying to stay out of the public eye, these folks, like, they don't want to show their face, and I understand. But for some context, this is what it looks like. This is the face he always uses. It's this right here. So this is the director and scenario writer for various video games. So he wrote the Nier series, and apparently he wrote the Drakengard series. So yeah, just similar to Oda from One Piece. He does not show his face. So you always see him with this like image over his face, and it's great, dude. Yeah. Hey, SWAT, welcome in, dude. How are you, my guy? But yeah, he does not show his face. Similar to some like I forget what the official word is for them, the manga something folks. Some of them just don't show their face, and he's one of them. But I've heard from multiple people that this series is like phenomenal for its story. It has like a really great story, a lot of twists, a lot of churns. This game in particular has 5 or 6 endings. The sequel, Nier Automata, has like 25 or 26 endings. It's crazy. So there's a lot of lore into this game, and there's a lot of endings, a lot to explore and see. And if you're into it, yeah, 25 endings. Yeah, I think, to be fair though, I think a lot of the endings in Automata are joke endings. So they're kind of just like these goofy one-off endings. I don't know if you all are familiar with the Silent Hill series, but I imagine it's kind of similar to Silent Hill, where you can get like just a joke ending for the game if you do certain things. Ow. Yeah, like the Silent Hill series is notorious for like the UFO ending, the dog ending, stuff like that. So this game has a lot, and it's, I don't know. I'm pretty early in. I've been enjoying it, but apparently this game gets insane. It's giving you Zelda vibes visually. Yeah, I could see that, dude. I could definitely see that. Is it the first game in the series? You've only heard of Nier Automata. It is not the first game in the series. Well, in the Nier series, yes, but in the overall series, no.
This sure is quiet here.
This started off with the Drakengard series. And I've never played that game. That game is on the PlayStation 2. The first 2 are. The third one's on the PS3. I did download the ROMs so that I could play through the first 2 Drakengard games. But yeah, it was Drakengard 1 through 3, and then the Nier series kind of spun off from that. But this is the first entry in the Nier series. And it's again, I don't really know too much about it. It's just been hyped up for me. Your file export's finally done, so you go to bed, but it was great hopping in. Hey, for sure, Loot. I appreciate you dropping by. Have a great rest of your night, great Friday, and a great weekend. And I'll look forward to catching some of your streams. Beware. Do I know where Nier fits chronologically with Drakengard? I've heard it's a prequel, but I don't know if that's correct or if I misread what Jam said. But our buddy Jam, who may pop up in chat later, he's very familiar with this series. And I think he mentioned that canon-wise, this is like a prequel to one of the Drakengard games.
The words? What do you...
Contagious words. Those who dream.
Those who dream?
Hold a moment. There is a strange new sensation in my mind. It is not quizzical.
What's going on with this? It's like it's as if he's reading what's on screen, kind of like breaking the fourth wall in a way.
What's going on?
Wait, are we having a Deadpool moment? Like, we can see the text on the screen. That's their dialogue, and then below the dialogue is like the action.
Perhaps we should start by asking this man.
Who are you?
We heard something happened to this village, so we came to see if we could help.
If you can speak to me. I must have caught you in my dream.
In your dream?
In the past weeks, a mysterious disease called the Death Dream has spread across the forest of myth. Those who caught it were cursed to fall asleep and live forever within the world of their own dreams. Now, that's kind of like a Matrix situation. And by that I mean that you're caught in this like fake reality, but it's not, I feel like when you're caught in a fake reality, it's like not super terrible because you assume this fake reality is your reality. I don't know, you know, fake, like, you know, like I think of like, what is his name? What's that dude's name in the Matrix who was complaining about the food he was eating outside the Matrix, and he was like, oh, you know, when I was in the Matrix, I got steak every day. And you know, you go out of the Matrix and you got to deal with like the real world, and he has like mush they have to eat, and he was complaining about that. I kind of imagine it's like that, where like, yeah, it's fake, but you know, you kind of, yeah, Cypher, right? That's who he was. You know, fun fact, I have not seen the Matrix in its entirety. I just have seen clips. I gotta watch it one day. I was recently watching the Matrix, and I was watching definitely Cypher. Oh, sorry, I also missed that chat from Subliminal. You have to play them in order? No, you do not, apparently. You could play, they're all like their own standalone stories, from what I understand. But there are references to other entries in the series throughout the game. So like if you're interested in getting like references and stuff, you probably would want to, but you don't have to. And it's not recommended because some of the older games can be pretty rough. Yeah, I have to watch it. I know the whole thing. I was actually recently watching was it Neil deGrasse Tyson and Lawrence Fishburne talking about it, and it's kind of funny because like Neil deGrasse Tyson is like this like smart ass scientist, so like he's talking to Lawrence Fishburne. They were kind of talking about the religious parallels, I guess, from like Christianity in the Matrix. So Neil deGrasse Tyson is going through this whole list of like biblical references and metaphors and allegories that are in the Matrix that clearly reference the Bible. And Lawrence Fishburne is kind of like yeah, you can tell me, I know what you're saying. And Neil deGrasse Tyson ends it with a statement about like to close it all up and wrap up how it's all related. And then Lawrence Fishburne's like, but did you account for this? And then it's like you see a light bulb go off in Neil deGrasse Tyson's mind, and he's like, oh my god, that makes total sense. If you haven't seen that clip, highly recommend it. I thought it was really interesting, and it's a fun one to watch him talk about it. And then Lawrence Fishburne, who clearly knows his shit, just kind of letting him come to his own conclusion, and then giving him the final nudge to realize the last bit of it. The Matrix is the best. My memory's been 10 years. Yeah, dude, I've heard the first one's great, but the second onward were kind of whatever. I heard the most recent one was bad. But that's just what I've seen on the internet. I haven't seen it for myself. In the past weeks, a mysterious disease called the death dream spread across the forest. Those who caught it were cursed to fall asleep and live forever in the world of their own dreams. The village mayor had determined the death dream was spread from person to person by spoken word, but before he could learn more, the disease took him as well. Weiss stared at the mayor, his mouth twitching slightly.
Now see here. Are you saying that we have been absorbed into your dream?
Well, yes. I think you have.
In other words, we've caught the death dream?
Before the mayor could confirm Arcane's suspicion.
Ridiculous. Preposterous. Completely unfathomable on every conceivable level. I don't even recall falling asleep.
That's just how the death dream works.
Though polite, the mayor was clearly trying to brush aside the book's remarks.
My remarks are not to be brushed aside, fool.
The mayor twisted his mouth into an embarrassed grimace, then quickly changed the subject to who Arcane had seen and what they had discussed since coming to the village.
Something there must have caused you to enter my dream. A certain conversation, a specific word, something.
Arcane and Weiss racked their brains, but could find no easy solutions. They were simply too many words to consider, too much random chatter, Too many meaningless conversations.
Grimoire Weiss does not engage in meaningless conversations.
Grimoire Weiss is great, the best, dude. He's like, I've mentioned this a couple times in prior streams, but sometimes side characters in video games can be pretty annoying. You know, they're not always positives in the game. Sometimes they can either talk too much, sometimes they can give too many hints, sometimes they can just outright be annoying. Grimoire Weiss, not the case with him. He is phenomenal so far. He's hilarious. He gives some good advice, and he's a good sidekick.
It does not seem to sting my pride, you bloated gasbag of a narrator.
Yeah, okay, it is breaking the fourth wall. He's seeing what the narrator is like. He sees the writing, you know? It's definitely a fourth wall break here. That's kind of cool.
It has demolished it utterly.
Irritated, Weiss looked skyward, as if searching for answers in the heavens.
I was doing no such thing. Just leave me alone already.
The anger created by his harsh words bled over to Arcane like a contagion. Wait, said Arcane suddenly. Did someone just say contagion? Yes, I believe so. What of it? Well, that villager told us to watch out for contagious words, right? The mayor leaned forward with renewed interest, pushing a startled Weiss aside in the process. He must have said something, right? Asked the mayor. Some specific combination of words. What was it? It was about dreaming, or something that dreams, or what the hell was it? A sheep? Cried Weiss suddenly, blurting out the first thing that popped into his head. The others stared at him for a moment before slowly shaking their heads. After a few more minutes of thought, Arcane's face suddenly lit up. I remember, he said. Those who dream. That's what he said. I'm sure of it. At this, the mayor produced a thick sheaf of papers from his pocket. He flipped through them a few times before finally nodding his approval at Arcane. That sounds right, he said, as a ray sheet of paper fluttered the ground. My notes also mentioned something about that. I bet it was the last thing you heard before you fell asleep. The mayor shook his head, his worn pencil stub tracing lines across a lone piece of paper. For the last month, I've done nothing but study the disease we call death dream, he said. I mean, I'm the mayor, right? It's my job to protect people from whatever comes along. I never expected a couple of outsiders to start entering people's dreams. The mayor paused, grimace crossing his face. I should probably be taking notes or something. Ace immediately fired back. I applaud the force of will it takes to research a disease in your dreams, he said. But perhaps we should bend your efforts to escaping this place instead of trying to understand it. The mayor's hand tightened around his pencil, snapping off the tip. I've tried to escape. From the very moment I realized I was locked inside my own dream, I've been looking for a way out. I don't think it exists. I mean, this is my dream, right? If there was an exit, I'd know about it. He paused for a moment, his unfocused eyes staring at nothing. My village was beautiful, he said to no one in particular, and it was filled with the most wonderful people you could ever hope to meet. But once this disease took hold, things changed. It's like someone took a sponge and soaked all the color out of our lives. I just want us to be whole again. I want us to be free. I won't stop trying until it happens. Arcane nodded in agreement. Oh, wait a second, I didn't nod. Look, if we can be of any help, said Arcane, then just ask. Now, hold on. I did not just say that. Silence, cried Weiss. The grimoire looked from Arcane to the mayor and back again, his face filling with confidence. Grimoire Weiss's face is always confident. Thank you very much. Now see here, mayor. You told us that nothing can exist in a stream without your knowing of it. But yet you seemed surprised to see us when we first entered, yes? The mayor slowly raised his head, realization dawning on his face. Oh my god, he said. You're right. You're right. I had no idea you were coming. The human imagination is a limitless engine, said Weiss, and dreams are the fuel. If you can imagine an exit, then it must be so. With your permission, we shall search it out. Thank you, said the mayor. I don't know how I can repay you. Payment is not required. We are as eager as you to be done with this place. The mayor suddenly felt as if he could breathe again. He'd almost forgotten what it was like. Good luck, you two, he called it the departing forms of Arcane and Weiss. We're all counting on you. As Arcane slowly faded into the misty forest, the mayor was struck by a sense of deja vu. I saw this man once before, but he thought, but where? Arcane's mood darkened as he trudged through the forest. Hours earlier, when the beauty of the place was still a new thing, he'd been confident they could get in, find the exit, and be home in time for dinner. But the deeper they went, the more forest closed in around him. The mist made it difficult to see more than a foot in any direction, and moss-covered rocks seemed determined to twist his ankle. More than once he'd been forced to steady himself on the rough bark of a tree, and his hands now left a small trail of blood on everything he touched. Additionally, Weiss was proving to be a spectacularly poor traveling companion, unhindered by either terrain or physical effort. He spent most of his time urging Arcane to pick up the pace and grumbling about their slow progress. Finally, after Weiss muttered something about legless turtles being more adept at navigating the environment, Arcane snapped. Okay, Weiss, cram it for a second, would you? You don't have to walk. Arcane leaned against a tree and tried to stretch the knots from his back. How can this stupid forest be so big, he muttered to himself. The moment the words fumbled from his mouth, a cacophony of insects sprang to life. Every imaginable form of buzz, click, and hiss roared out at a volume that rattled his teeth. Arcane slapped his hands over his ears and screamed to be heard. Weiss, what's going on? Arcane could see Weiss's mouth moving, but he might as well have been shouting in a tornado. The insects screamed, the forest howled. And then, just as Arcane's ears seemed ready to tear from his head and go running for cover, the sound diminished. Hesitantly, he removed his hand from his left ear and listened to the creatures of the woods. Zree, 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 zree. Shock, shock, shock. Oof. As the insect symphony dimmed another decibel, Arcane began to detect patterns in the sound. This isn't random, he thought. It's not just white noise. It's something else. The insects weren't just calling out. They were asking a question. One with it is lacking. Two with it is ideal. Three with it is dangerous. What is it? Why my pages? Is this a riddle? I guess so. I mean, it feels sort of forced, but maybe it's the key to getting out of this place. Then I leave it to you to answer. One with it is lacking. Two with it is ideal. Three with it is dangerous. What is it? Ooh, okay, we actually get a choice here. One with it is lacking. Two with it is ideal. Three with it is dangerous. So we have a couple options here. We have the answer is a secret. Seesaw? How should I know? You know, I'm not gonna lie. When I read seesaw, that kind of made sense to me because you know you do need, you know, one person on a seesaw. It's just gonna be like this. You get two people on, you can go back and forth. You get three people on, it's chaos. It's just one. It's just gonna be one person. One. It's always gonna be off, you know. So But I feel like with 1 is the same as 3, so I don't think it would be seesaw. A secret kind of makes I don't know. A secret doesn't really make sense either, because 1 with it is lacking, 2 with it is ideal, 3 with it is dangerous. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not good at riddles. I'm gonna say, how should I know? Because I don't think it's a secret, because I don't see how 2 people knowing a secret is ideal. I imagine one person knowing a secret would be ideal, you know, that being yourself. The more people that know a secret, the more likely it is to get out. So I would not say there's an ideal. I would say that the ideal number is definitely 1 for us, for a secret. Seesaw, that's what I was thinking, Ronan, but I feel like 3 is not dangerous. You know, that's what's throwing me off, is I don't think it would be 3. Because with 3 people, it's essentially the same thing as having only 1. You can if you cut strong legs. Oh my gosh. Alright guys, we'll go with seesaw. Also, I have a quick moment to catch up with the chat. Alright guys, I got really like locked in there with the reading. Let me catch up here. The Matrix is the best. You heard they slowly declined, but you don't talk about Bruno. 2 onward are named Bruno. We don't talk about them exactly. Hey Tyler, welcome in, dude. I appreciate you dropping by, dude. Thank you so much. And I think I will enjoy it. This game is one that's known for having a really good story, and it seems like we're finally getting to the point where the story's picking up, so I'm looking forward to that. Why is there so much fourth wall? Because we're in a dream, dude. This isn't real. I mean, it's not real to begin with, but it's not real. It's like a double not real, I guess. It's soothing, has a great story voice. Oh, Arcane audiobooks when a company hires me, I will do it. I actually would not mind doing an audiobook. That would be pretty fun. Also, hey Jam, welcome in, dude. How are you, Jam? Welcome in, dude. I'm glad to see you here. Where's this third person going to set? Arcane's big brain meme. Set him in the middle. Something that's ideal with 2 people, but dangerous with 3. Oh, it's a seesaw. Weiss's mouth flew open, but before he could say anything, the world suddenly shifted. Reen, reen, wah. Reen, reen, wah. Shik, shik, key. Shik, shik, key. When Arcane came to, he once again was surrounded by the sounds of insects. The cries of the insects were creating words he had heard somewhere before. 1 with it is lacking, 2 with it is ideal, 3 with it is dangerous. What is it? Oh, is it the same thing? I mean, it feels sort of forced, but maybe it's the key to getting out of this place. Oh, okay, we get to just keep trying. I don't know, let's go secret. Inwardly furious that Weiss left the task to him, Arcane sighed and gave the only answer that made sense. It's a secret, right? The sound of the insects began. The forest undergrowth parted for Arcane like a rippling wave, opening a new path. Those forest anthropods are making a road for us, said Weiss with glee. Pleased at passing the test, Arcane moved on with new intensity. The path offered his body relief from the undergrowth, but gave even greater cheer to his mind as long as they were on a path. Their journey had a purpose. I guess the forest has accepted us, huh? Said Arcane after a bit. Weiss spun around to face his companion. Do not mistake the will of this forest for some happy pet you can suddenly befriend. We have no idea where this path leads. As Weiss finished speaking, the pair turned a corner and found themselves facing a clear forest spring. Smiling, Arcane picked up a small rock and sent it skipping across the surface of the water. Good heavens, said Weiss. His surprise was understandable. Each time the rock struck the surface of the water, a musical note rang out. When the rock finally stopped moving and sank to the bottom of the spring, the notes it left behind came together to form words. I enter through the window, but break no glass. When night falls, I vanish. What am I? Absurdly easy, barked Weiss. Now answer it. Arcane grit his teeth and tried not to reach out and strangle his companion. He's right after all, this one's pretty easy. Sunlight. Plume of water suddenly burst from the spring. Sunlight filtered through the trees and reflected off the plain. Plume, creating a shimmering rainbow that spanned the entire horizon. In all my years, said Weiss softly, I've never seen such a sight. Perhaps I have misunderstood the intentions of this place. Hey look, Arcane cried, awakening Weiss from his daze. There's a house or something over there. Glancing in the direction of his friend's extended hand, Weiss saw a small cottage nestled among the trees. That's weird, isn't it, Weiss? I mean, who would build a house all the way out here? Arcane walked over and pounded on the door. After a minute of solid banging, hey yo, the door cracked open, and a small man peered out. His body was cloaked from neck to toe in a large black cape, while his face was obscured by mist. Began Arcane, but before he could get any further, the cloaked man held up a hand and began speaking. I have 4 legs in the morning, 2 at noon, but end the night with 3. What am I? Arcane tried to ask the cloaked man who he was and what he was doing there, but he simply repeated the question. If we wish to engage this man in conversation, said Weiss, it seems we must answer his... I want to point out too that I think this is kind of like a fun section to me. I think it's pretty interesting that we go from like exploring and very combat focused. You know, we're not parrying stuff, we're not like hunting this like scary monster, we're not trying to defend ourselves from stuff. We're just kind of going through like a little novel, and it's kind of great. You remember this from the animated Mummy show? I'm gonna have to look that up, Jam. I'm not familiar, but that sounds interesting. If we wish to, okay, we must solve the riddle. Okay, well, it's an easy one. I have 4 legs in the morning, 2 at noon, and end the night with 3. What am I? 4 legs in the morning, 2 at noon, but end the night with 3. These are all interesting choices. I don't know. A man? 4 legs in the morning, but end the night with 3. I feel like I'm kind of dumb for not getting this. They said it was simple. The sunlight one I got instantly. As soon as I went through that riddle, I immediately thought to myself, oh, that's light. That's the only thing it could be, but this one I'm a little bit stumped on. 4 legs in the morning, 2 at noon, but you end the night at 3. I feel like where I'm going wrong with this is that I'm thinking legs like actual like physical like human legs. But legs are not just like a body part. Legs are like legs of a table. That's the only example I can think of. I'm sure there's more. 4 legs in the morning. Well, let me kind of work my way backwards, right? Like an angel. Angel and demon. I don't really understand why those would be options. 4 legs in the morning, 2 at noon, and then the night with 3. You got it? You Googled it? I mean, I'm sure we're gonna get it regardless. Like, it's probably gonna make us force it. Let's see, I'm just gonna say man. Oh, it was man. Okay, but why is it man? 4 legs in the morning. Four legs in the morning? That's what it is. It's different stages of life. Yeah. I would, yeah. Yeah. That got me. I told you I'm not good with riddles. Always has been. With that, the man flung his garment aside, revealing his true identity. "You're the mayor," cried Arcane. The small man slowly shook his head. "I am not the mayor you know. Now listen to my words. Long ago, I saw a version of you that was not yourself." Sorry, what's that mean? "It will make sense in time. At present, I simply congratulate you on cracking the seal of the death dream. Now you must go to the person at the forest entrance." With that, the man turned on his heel and slammed the door behind him. As Arcane watched, mist seeped up from the ground and enveloped the cottage, erasing it from existence. When Arcane and Weiss returned to the forest entrance, they found the mayor leaning against a tree. As soon as he caught sight of the duo, he sprang to his feet and scrambled over to them. "Good gravy," he cried. "You made it. You actually made it back." His left hand grasped Arcane and pumped it so fiercely it threatened to dislodge the sockets. Wait, his left hand grasped Arcane's. Oh, like we shook his hand. Okay. Okay, so we shook his hand and he like yanked it pretty much and was like almost broke it. Okay. That makes sense. This is also a fun fact about Arcane. I'm not a fast reader. I'm really not. It's something like, it's kind of a little personal, but that's like a big reason why I really struggle to read books. It's not really the comprehension. Like, I don't have an issue like comprehending books. I know how to like, I know quite a bit of like words and stuff, but I hate how it takes me so long to read a book. Like, I'm just a really slow reader. And I've always kind of been like that. And it's always driven me crazy. Like, I know there are folks out there who can like read a book, and when they're reading the book, they don't like say the word in their mind, and that lets them get through books a lot quicker. Like me, when I'm reading a book, my mental like person in there is saying the words that I'm seeing on the page. So the way I'm reading this right now, if I weren't talking out loud, I would be hearing the word in my mind. And that's a big reason why I read so slow. I've read online that folks who like can read fast or like want to improve their reading speed, the objective is to like not say the word, but see the word and recognize what the word means without saying it. So like you could just look at a sentence, and as you flow across it, your mind just automatically puts together what it's saying without saying it. And that's kind of where I struggle with. I can't do that. Can't do it well, I should say. I can sort of do it, I'm getting better, but I'm pretty bad at reading fast. And that's kind of why I like, when I pick up like a 300-page book, it takes me forever to finish it, because like just getting through one chapter will take me like hours because I'm just such a slow reader. So I really wish that I could read fast, because I think that would really help me like read a lot more books. And that's kind of why like I love games and movies, videos, because you could just kind of get a lot more information quickly. But yeah, I don't know. That's Arcane's like fun fact about Arcane. I'm a slow reader, but I'm working on it. I'm working on it because I want to improve, but right now I'm really bad. Gah, by the heavens, stop shaking me, fool. We have not even told you if we were successful or not. The mayor smiled broadly and shook his head. I'm just happy you're alive. I didn't think I'd ever see you again. Arcane withdrew himself from the mayor's eager handshake with a slight smile. We broke the Death Dream's seal, he said. At least I think we did. The mayor's face beamed as Arcane filled him in on the details. When the tale was done, the three of them laid down on the forest ground and fell asleep. Kane cocked his head. Okay, hang on a second. This is crazy. Why would we just lay down and go to sleep? Cease your endless prattle and go to sleep, fool. Fighting against the rules of this place is futility itself. Arcane and the mayor obediently reclined atop the grassy earth. Have you forgotten? Continued Weiss. Weiss, it is words that control the death dream, words that allow us to move from place to place. No matter how unnatural they seem, words are absolute. Therefore, if the words tell us to sleep, then sleep we shall. And once we do, the story will continue. With that, the trio found their eyes growing heavy, their breath slowing. This is the first time, began the mayor. The first time I felt tired since I was imprisoned here. His words were cut off by a loud, long yawn, and he remembered nothing more. They might have slept for an hour or a year. When they awoke, things had a slightly more real quality to them. The mist felt thicker, the leaves greener. It was clear that they had awakened from their dream. Arcane shook the mayor's shoulder gently. Good news, he said. I think we made it. Oh wow, said the mayor in an odd voice. We did it. I'm back. He blinked once, then again, if not quite believing the sight before him. You two have no idea how much this means. Death Dream was spreading through our village, and I wanted to. Well, I thought I could figure out how to stop it, but I guess that wasn't the case. I must have caught the disease and became trapped in my own dream. The mayor started to stand, then collapsed back to earth. He stared at his legs as if trying to remember how they worked, then glanced at Arcane and shrugged. Without a word, the young man reached down and pulled the mayor to his feet. Real life may take some getting used to, said the mayor, as a weary smile crossed his lips. You shall relearn in short order, I am sure, said Weiss. For now, you should return to your home and rest. No, said the mayor, swaying on unsteady feet. No, I can't. Some of the villagers are still trapped in the death dream. I have to save them. The mayor slowly made his way to the divine tree at the center of the village, then bowed his head and prayed silently. This is a holy tree, he explained. He explained when the prayer was finished. It's the guardian of our village's history and memories. Superstition will only make our mission harder, muttered Weiss. We should not put faith in the gods. The mayor shook his head. Not the gods. Words. Legend says that our tree is home to powerful magic known as a sealed verse. That's what we need to save our sister. That's what we need to save our sister. That's what we need to stop the Black Book from, like, destroying stuff. I don't really know what it's going to destroy, but apparently it's a bad book. We need sealed verses. Sealed verses are essential to stopping the spread of, like, the illness that the other book brings. Arcane and Weiss could not contain their surprise. It seemed a goal had been found in the most unexpected of places. I say, muttered Weiss. This is certainly a stroke of luck. As the three of them said their goodbyes, Arcane mentioned the strange man who had given them the third riddle and the mysterious words he had left with them. I once saw a version of you that was not yourself, muttered the mayor. What in the world does that mean? Lost in thought, he stared into space for a long moment. You know, he said softly, this is going to sound odd, but I had a feeling I'd seen you before. Arcane tried to keep a straight face and failed, but the mayor didn't seem to notice. Deja vu, right? Anyway, I figured it's just some kind of illusion created by the death dream. It probably doesn't mean anything. Hey, and I appreciate you dropping by, Ronan. I know it's really late where you're at. Hope you get some good rest, dude, and I'm looking forward to catching your stream tomorrow, dude. Arcane gave the mayor a nod and a smile, but inwardly his thoughts were racing. There's something wrong about the mayor and his words. And what exactly is going on here? Riddle would prove to be the most difficult one of all.
Oh, thank you so much. Now I can finally return to a normal life.
This is one of the most bizarre diseases I have ever encountered.
I know. That's why we have to help the other villagers, no matter what.
Oh, nice. We can now do dark execution magic. Summon magical spikes from the ground to impale enemies. Charge to increase the number of spikes. Awesome.
For a sealed
Yes, all a touch too easy if you ask me. It's almost as if someone was guiding us to this village.
Don't overthink advice.
And you know, don't tell me, but I'm pretty sure that the version of us the mayor believes he saw was maybe the folks from the start of the game. I don't really know if it's like reincarnation or what, but there was another boy and his sister that looked very similar to these characters that we controlled at the start of the game for like an opening cutscene. I have a feeling that that's who the mayor is talking about. I don't know. We'll see where the story takes us.
This person must...
It would appear that
Enter the... Are we gonna do more narration? Yeah, let's do it.
Can't say I'm very
perhaps you should spend less time complaining and more time getting on with the mission.
Yeah, you...
Oh no, is this just gonna be an Arcane Reads stream? It's looking that way. I breathe air, scented with death, and resist the urge to laugh, for I know it will sound like the words of the madman. How long have I been in this fresh hell? My box, my prison, is tucked beneath the stairway in the long, unused catacombs of Infinite Castle. Outside, hear the sounds of funeral dirge that plays without end. Light has no place here. Wind is a forgotten friend. I pray for death to come, but he forsakes me. Time passes. An eternity slips by in a single tick of the clock. Someone knocks on my prison. Anyone there? I hear an unfamiliar voice say. My savior? I claw at the door of my jail, embedding thick splinters under my ragged nails. I scream for help. I laugh, I sob. Surely this is a product of my adult mind. Surely it cannot be true. Help me, I cry. For the love of all the gods, help me. Possibly, I hear the sound of a lock being torn out and falling to the floor. As the door slowly creaks open, just enough time to see a silver-haired boy and a floating book before the light pours inside. My eyes, accustomed to the blackness, explode with pain, and I am forced to turn. Who are you? I ask, shaking hands covering my face. How have you come to this place? I am Grimoire Weiss. This is Arcane. Long have we been searching for you. Now come, stand. We shall awaken from this nightmare together. The one known as Arcane extends his hand and pulls me from the cell. Though my eyes are slow to adjust to freedom, my ears are as keen as ever, and they recognize the staccato sounds of heavy rain. I never thought to hear that again, I whisper. Would that this were not such a terrible storm, said Grimoire Weiss. Look at your feet. I force my eyes open and see pulling ankles and lapping at my shins. There's so much of it. Yes, and more comes each moment we delay. If we do not make good our escape, we shall all die in this castle. We know you are weak, but you are our only hope to survive this place. Time, that long forgotten friend, made itself known again. I nodded my head and swore to say my rescuers, no matter the cost. The castle catacombs are a maze, twisting upon themselves like an endless entrails of a giant. squint down the dim corridors and proceed north. Okay. Hey, Pickle, welcome in. Yes, you are at Uncle Arcane's house today. Hope you're doing well, man. Also, did you end up beating Ludwig in your stream last night? I was lurking as I was going to bed, and I wasn't sure if I didn't get to see if you beat him or not. At the end of the corridor, I find a row of 20 gorgeous canopied beds resting atop a carpet of velvet. All are covered in a thick layer of dust and cobwebs. Searching for the door to the next room, I come upon a shapeless mass of gray matter. It has been shoved against the side of the wall, and despite my fever, I think I see the outlines of a door just beyond. When I reach out a finger and touch a piece of mass, it turns to dust and drifts away from the wind. Realization slowly dawns, and I fall to my knees and weep. I face a mountain of charred and crumbling corpses. I look from it to the beds and back again until the horror dawns upon me. Someone has piled these bodies into a tower and set them ablaze. Whether they were alive or dead, I do not know, and sanity will not permit me to consider the proposition further. I make a sound, whether scream or laughter, I cannot be certain. Then my mind grants me merciful blackness, and I find myself opening the door and leaving that most terrible of rooms. I squint down the dim corridors. Proceed east. Nope, never mind. North? West? At the end of the path, a row of heavy wooden casks lie on their sides in the dark chamber. Doubtless they are filled with wine. My thirst roars to life. I cannot remember the last time my parched throat had relief. I scramble to the first cask and pull frantically at the cork. Theft of a few cups means nothing, I tell myself. The casks will be ruined by the flood regardless. Finally, the cork surrenders to an attack, and thick red liquid bursts forth from the hole. This is no wine. It's blood. It's blood still warm from the body, whether animal or something else. I cannot say. The foul liquid soon mixes with the rising floodwaters, creating a warmth that laps against my thighs. By all the gods, are the rest of these casks filled with blood as well? I lack the courage to confirm my suspicion. Disgust quickly becomes fear as I turn to flee, but my weakened legs betray me, sending me toppling over into the red ocean below. Bro, this feels like I'm reading Berserk. It's very gruesome. Or, you know, even like it's kind of sounding like a setting in Bloodborne. Because there's quite a few arenas in Bloodborne that you're just kind of like, you know, shin deep in blood. It's kind of insane that I'm kind of getting that vibe from this text. You did not beat him, sadly. You'll get him next time. Heck yeah, dude. You got this, dude. He's a really hard boss fight. To be honest, I struggled with him probably for a good 5 or 6 hours, dude. He was rough. Yeah, he's rough. The DLC bosses in general are all kind of rough. They definitely are the hardest bosses in the game, at least to me. The base game bosses, none really gave me too much trouble, with the exception of the boss you fought in Upper Cathedral Ward, where you got to run through the broken window. That boss, I think her name's Abetrius of something. She was the hardest boss in the base game for me. I lack the courage to confirm my suspicion. Oh, okay, threatens you must escape this hell. Crawling on all fours like an animal, holding back screams lest any foulness enter my mouth, I lurch forward through the red waters and out of the room to freedom. I squint down the dim corridors and proceed east. East. At the end of the path, the water rises to my waist. Exhausting me both physically and spiritually, I pray this is the way out. Eventually, I can stand the sight of the waters no longer, and so turn my eyes upward. Imagine my surprise when I see a series of paintings hanging on the faded plaster wall. Each depicts a person in the prime of their life, clad in clothing of the highest quality. The styles, however, are strange to me, leading me to believe that these people had lived long, long ago. One subject wears an outfit that particularly catches my eye. It is constructed of a thin, breezy cloth and decorated with a motif of flowers and birds. While encircling the figure's waist is a leather belt of the most perfect construction. It is a stunning costume even by modern standards. As I gaze at the portrait, I am struck by a desire to touch it with my own hands. Yet, as I extend a single finger to the painting, I am gripped by a most unpleasant feeling. Staring closely at the image, I see it bend and warp into the shape of another finger. Something behind the picture is pointing at me. Is it another prisoner? Fellow inmate trapped for eternity in this place? Do not let it pass. And so I seize the portrait with both hands and throw it into the water. The wall is hollow behind the painting, and inside I can just make out a body. Whether or not this is a prisoner, there would be no rescue. The poor soul is long dead. Scraps of clothing lie on the floor around the bones. Only a small amount of fabric has survived, but it features the same delicate designs that were depicted in the portrait. I have been admiring a row of corpses blocked from view by portraits of each victim at their pinnacle. Enough. Shielding my eyes, I paddle forward through the water. I squint down the dim corridors and proceed south. I find myself in a great hall with only the sounds of rain for comfort. The waterlogged red carpet swishes beneath my feet as I approach the center of the room. Once there, I hold a beautiful dining table upon which rest china and silver of the finest construction, as well as the remains of a fantastic feast. As my eyes continue to adjust, I see many chairs surrounding the table, each holding a dinner guest. Noticing movement, I approach the chair at the table's head, but as the truth of the matter dawns on me, I recoil in horror. The host of the feast is a corpse, as are all the invited guests. An army of foul, wriggling insects have made their homes in the remains, and this is the movement I saw. This is really dark. Man, these dreams are sounding more and more like nightmares, to be honest. The mayor was essentially trapped in a forest, which, you know, in itself isn't too bad. He's just kind of stuck there researching where he's at. But this poor soul is just going through so much torture. Constantly going through different rooms of disgust. There's so much blood that they actually have to paddle like through it, only to find more and more corpses. And you know, they're thinking that the corpses are not corpses, right? Because they're thinking they're moving. But as they get closer, they realize that they're dead, and what's making it look like they're moving is all these like bugs, kind of like, you know, infesting the corpse. Pretty gruesome description. Very gruesome. It's definitely different. Definitely different. I was not expecting this. And Rom was your hell, dude. He was terrible. I remember I struggled with him quite a bit, especially once you get to like the third jump and there's just so many spiders. It's kind of insane how many spiders there are. At the end of like towards the end of my like attempts, I kind of ended up just like going full on and just whacking him as much as I could in the first part and beating him before, like, well, right as he got to the third part. I just kind of went in and got greedy, smacked them with the Kirk hammer, and got lucky one run. This once splendid feast was now nothing more than a requiem for the damned. I take a moment to steady my shaking hands, then slowly back away from the table. Desperate to lose sight of the abomination before me, my gaze lands on the chairs upon which the dead were seated. This is a mistake, where the chairs prove to be even more terrible than the feast itself. Each one is covered in layers of spikes that run from the seat, up the back, and down the arms. This explains the color of the carpet beneath my feet. I can only pray that the unfortunate were dead when the meal began. That's wild, man. They were like juicing these folks with a chair. Or if not, it is a simple task to envision the agonizing screams that must have sprung forth from their mouths. My mind grasps frantically at the possibility that these souls had committed some horrific crime for which this was punishment. Though in truth, I suspected they had committed no crime at all. There would be no tomorrow for these unfortunates. This was their last supper. I squint down the dim corridors and proceed north. The water has risen to my chin and now laps greedily at my mouth. Nose. "You dumb bast," shouts Arcane. He surely desires to say more, but the rest of his insult is cut short by the rising water. Grimoire Weiss, wet and tattered, floats on the water's surface. It is already too late for him. This wasn't how it was supposed to end. What? I lost? We were just going through a little novel. I didn't realize there were consequences. Oh, what did I do wrong? No. No! Do I have to redo this whole thing? No, wait. I don't think I do. Do I? Hopefully it's... Please don't tell me I don't have to do this. Okay, good. Okay, good. It's saved right here. What did I do wrong? It just said keep picking a pathway.
This person.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let's try it again.
I'm very. Yeah.
Ah, man. All right, well, let's just skip through this. We already read this. Trying to understand, like, what am I looking for here? Let me see. Okay. So we go north. We read this one. Oh, okay, I see now. So if we go south, it just takes us back to the old room. Hang on, I need a little notepad. Hold up. Need a notepad. Let me just keep track of this. So we're going north. Now we're gonna go east. Okay. Okay. If I go west, I just go back, so we need to go north. Okay, wait, hold up. South will take us back. North? Okay, wait, it's not north. Okay, hold up. Let me just make a note. It's not north. Oh. Okay. This is the I keep really messing this one up. How are you supposed to figure this out like first attempt? It seems like a really complicated one to get right the first time.
It's
Let's try it again.
Yeah.
Okay. So, north. Then it's east. North. Let's try east. Okay, I don't need to go north, so let's go west. Okay, this gives me more dialogue. Wait, let me write that down. So then it was north, then west. Now east. That just takes me back here. Nope. This is like this. This is a labyrinth in word form. It's insane, man. Still more to save?
It's
perhaps
yeah.
I don't even know how to. I don't know how anyone would figure this out right away. So north. Hey, for sure, Pickle. Thank you for dropping by, dude. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your night and a great rest of your week, dude. Also looking forward to seeing you crush Ludwig and get through the DLC. Went the wrong way. Yeah, I feel like I'm not smart enough for this. Like the third step that gets me.
This
It would have...
can't.
Perhaps...
Yeah.
Yo, Danny, welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Oh, I see. It doesn't even matter if you go back and forth. You still die. I'm doing well myself. I just gonna have a short stream tonight. I have to go to bed early because I have to actually have to drive into work tomorrow. I got like a good 2-hour drive ahead of me tomorrow. So I can't be up too late tonight, but I did want to try to make some progress here. But yeah, I'm feeling good. I took my family today to our local like summer music festival. Or not a music festival, but like our city will host like summer concerts in the summer. So we went to go see 2000s pop cover band, play some songs, and my son had a blast. He was dancing. I was eating a burrito, so I was happy. It's a good time. Also, Tater, welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're recovering well. And no, I'm not reading right now. I read this all earlier, and it's like a puzzle. Can't quite figure out. Like, it's kind of a weird puzzle. Busting out the notebook. Okay. Notebook's out. So I'm gonna make a mark in the center. Okay, let's see. We're gonna go north. So north is the first way to go. At the end of the court, okay, yeah, we did this already. And then it's not south. We need to go east. So if we go east, that takes us to another pathway. I think north just ends it, right? Okay, wait, we could go north. And then I think north ends it again. South will take us back east or west. Let's go north. North, east, north. No, wait, I was able to go north one more time. Hold up. One note. Never mind, it's the dead end. So can't go north again. So north, east, north. East, where does it go? So let's see, if I go east. If I go... I went the wrong way, actually. This is the way I'm going, this way. Let's see, where does north take me to? Oh, we figured it out! Okay, cool. Okay, there we go. We actually got it. So it was north, east, north, east, north. Okay. Dude, I kid you not. I seriously had to like whip out the notebook. Like, you can see. I don't know if I can show. I don't know if it's gonna. It's not showing because of the green screen. But I was charting out the path with my pen, marking an X for like where it's a dead end, and that we got it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy. Hey, thanks, Tater. Solid redeem. I can see the one known as Arcane is disappearing. Against that torn dress will be given no further description, but he hides it well. The nod and shrug, three of us set forth in our awakening. But behind us, an awakening of another kind is taking place. Black smoke fills the abandoned castle, providing countless damned souls inside with their final shroud. After a moment, the castle's windows shatter with a mighty roar. A fresh breeze blows through the hallways and corridors, clearing the smoke away for good. As we watch in awe, uncountable black shadows slowly flicker to life, crossing to and fro in front of the broken windows. The castle's dead have awakened to their new life, shades.
You have anything to say about...
Hopefully there will be no...
I hear that.
Definitely. Glad you guys had fun. No bueno, definitely not, but I am going to be getting a donut tomorrow. As part of my tradition, whenever I have to drive into work, I always stop at my local donut shop, but not to get a donut. I never go to a donut shop for a donut. I'm usually heading off to a donut shop for a coffee, either hot or iced, and a ham and cheese croissant. You're doing better. You've been getting lots of rest. You want to stop by and get some points before bed. Glad you had a fun day. Hey, I appreciate that, Tater. I hope you have a full recovery soon. We all miss your streams, Tater. I've been popping into Turtle's stream as well, and he was like mentioning how he misses his Tater streams. So get better soon, Tater. We all miss you.
And another victim. This work certainly is trying.
Oh boy, another one.
figured
See
a
her.
Even I have my exception.
A colony of massive sculptures was visible in the distance, their tall forms scraping against sky. Weiss and Arcane had never seen such a sight. Their eyes widened as they tried to take it in.
Those buildings must be huge if we can see them from this far away. What do you think, Weiss?
As Weiss considered his answer, the sun beat down on them with a renewed ferocity.
Perhaps they are some manner of mirage.
Under this heat, a mirage or two would hardly be an unexpected sight. Arcane nodded and wiped the sweat off his brow, leaving a trail of sand in its place. He thought he'd never been so thirsty. The ancient road on which they walked was black and cracked with age. Here and there, thin wisps of grass pushed up through the rocky surface, as if defying those who had laid this material down over their home. The heat reflecting from this road made Arcane lightheaded. His feet hurting, he crouched down to rest. I don't know how much longer I can do this. Is someone playing a joke on us or what? The complaining had already begun. Weiss tried not to let his eyes roll too much. A joke? He said. No joke. This road leads to the city of art. Perhaps the path itself is simply some manner of grand artistic work. You don't sound very sure of yourself there. Perhaps not, but thinking of it this way might make it easier for you to bear. Arcane glanced at Weiss's grinning face, shook his head, and resumed walking. As time passed, Arcane's feet grew more painful, and his throat drier than he thought possible. He tried not to look further than the next steps ahead, because the bright sunlight made him hesitant to trust his own senses. "We are definitely getting closer," said Weiss in an effort to cheer his companion. "Yes, that much is certain." Encouraged, Arcane lifted his gaze. Suddenly he stopped walking, choosing instead to stand in the middle of the road with his mouth and eyes wide open, and his finger pointing in the distance. Water, he cried. It's water. Water? Said Weiss. Preposterous. I don't see any water. Over there, just ahead of us. Look, the sunlight is reflecting off of it. Without waiting for a response, Arcane sprang to life and bounded toward the site. What in the... There was no water. There was nothing but sand in every direction. Arcane closed his eyes and sighed as Weiss floated up behind him and chuckled softly. I believe this is known as a mirage, he said. Many a desert traveler have spoken of such things. Arcane shook his head, bewildered. Suddenly he pointed off in the distance, his eyes wide once more. Wait, there it is. I just missed it. Look, it's right there. Arcane sprinted off again, leaving Weiss with no choice but to follow. After a few minutes of running, Arcane came to a halt. I'd have sworn it was right around here. Confused, he put his hands up to his eyes and rubbed them vigorously. As soon as he stopped, he noticed a blue, shimmering pool of clear water just over the next rise. With a shout, he bounded off in search of it. The chase continued for nearly an hour until an exasperated Weiss finally floated up to Arcane and struck him in the face with his cover. Enough, you blithering idiot. Stop this at once. There is no water here. Arcane's face clouded. There isn't? There is not. And perhaps next time you will listen to me when I tell you as much. Weiss paused for a moment, then continued speaking in a slightly kinder tone. However, I suppose this mad chase was not altogether wasted. It seems we have arrived in the City of Art. Arcane looked up. Stretched out before him was a row of impossibly tall sculptures. Their journey was at an end. They're huge! Cried Arcane, completely forgetting the heat and pain of the past few hours. I've never seen anything so big. Each sculpture was formed from roughly the same shape. A tall rectangle that stretched up towards the sky. That is where the similarities ended. Most were covered with panes of glass that reflected light in 1,000 directions, while others seemed to be nothing but frames of steel. Some had tall spires on their tops, while others possessed triangular caps. What kind of city is this? Said Arcane. Where are the people? Where are the houses? Perhaps the land is intended exclusively for artistic use. The debate continued as they made their way through the city. Miracles of artistry were everywhere. Great iron crates with wheels set silent on steel rails. Beautifully carved works with lights of red, amber, and green dangled over every street. As they moved away from the massive sculptures, they found a great array of smaller ones. Some were covered in glass or brick, but many were composed of materials they had never before encountered. The sheer variety of colors and styles were staggering. Unable to find a theme or purpose to the abstract works around them, Arcane and Weiss eventually fell silent. On the outskirts of the city, they discovered 3 sculptures in the shape of human. Arcane uttered a sigh of relief as he approached them. Finally, I was getting tired of modern art. The 3 statues were indistinguishable except for a single word chiseled on their right arms. 1 read alpha, 1 read beta, and 1 read gamma. There was no sigma. As Arcane moved to touch the nearest statue, a bird flew from one of the sculptures, lighting on the statue's shoulder. It emitted a brief, beautiful song that took the form of words. Only one form is real, the others are false. The real form will always speak the truth. The false ones will only speak lies. I feel like that's like a classic scenario or a situation. I forget how you solve that one, but it's like when you're in a situation where like someone has to always tell the truth and someone always has to lie. There's like a certain question you can ask that will like guarantee you the like to know who is the liar and the truth teller. but I don't remember what it is. It's not. It's not tell me who is the liar or the truth teller, because one person, because it'll always like cancel each other out. I forget the specific question you're supposed to ask, but there's like a way to like quickly identify who is the truth teller and who is the liar. Turtle's pretty good at those speedruns. You can never, yeah, he's phenomenal at them. It's insane how much he could like just destroy the game. it's wild. And he ended up this week rating us out to another speedrunner that I guess he's buddies with, and that dude just destroyed a game in like under a minute. It was insane. Hey, look at that, said Arcane, they're alive. Triplets bowed their head before Arcane. Please, said Alpha, you have to get me out of this nightmare. I am real. Stop lying, said Beta. He turned to Arcane and threw his hands in the air. Alpha's a fake, you know. I'm the real one. What a load of crap, said Gamma. Beta is fake. Everyone knows I'm the real one around here. Their respective pleas, the three statues returned to their frozen state as silence once again enveloped the city. When you consider all the statements, only one could be the real thing, said Weiss. Okay. Need to use my notebook again. And this is that question of like that this is that scenario that I was talking about. So you have so you know we have Alpha, Beta, Gamma. Alpha says I'm real. Beta says he's fake. I'm real. And Gamma always is saying that Beta is a liar. So I guess we have to figure out like which two are lies, right? Oh, is it just Beta? Because if Gamma is saying Beta is a liar, that would mean that Beta is in my head it makes more sense. Hold up, we can figure this out. Two have to be lies. One has to be the truth. Beta is a liar. So if Gamma is saying Beta is a liar, that means that Beta is lying and that Alpha is the real one and he's a fake. But that can't be true because then you have to be wrong, right? So Gamma is saying that Beta is a liar. Beta is saying that A is a liar. And A is saying that he's real. If C is correct about B, it's kind of like I don't even know how to. I don't know how to do this. I'm not good at these logic puzzles. I guess what I'm trying to say is like, if Gamma is not the liar, or if Gamma is the liar, right? Or no, I'm sorry, if Gamma is telling the truth, about Beta. Hang on, I gotta rewrite this. Hold up, it's throwing me off. Hold up. Okay. So Alpha says it's real. Beta says Alpha's lying. Beta's real. Gamma says Beta lies. If what Gamma is saying is true, then that means that Beta and Alpha have to be lying. But that would mean that Alpha cannot be real, then Alpha would have to be lying, right? I guess that's what I'm trying to say, is like Gamma is saying that Beta is lying. But if Beta is lying, that means if Gamma is truth and Beta is lying, then Alpha would have to be lying, right? So let me write that down. So if Gamma is true, therefore Beta must be lying, which does not mean work out with Alpha, because there's two positives there. So Gamma is lying. So if Gamma is lying, oh, it's Beta. Then we can assume Gamma is lying, right? So if Gamma is lying about Beta, if Gamma is lying that Beta lies, that means Beta is telling the truth. Which means that Alpha is the one lying, which does check out because we have two liars and one truth-sayer with Beta. Alpha cannot be the truth teller because Gamma lying means that Beta is telling the truth. Well, no. Alpha cannot be the one because if Gamma is lying, that means that Beta... Hang on, make sure I understand this. I'm pretty sure it's Beta's the real one, but if Alpha is the real one, that means these two have to be lies. So why would Beta be so if Beta is lying, that means that Alpha, let me see, if Alpha is the truth, that means that Gamma is the lie. And if Gamma is lying about Beta lying, that means Beta is telling the truth, right? Which means that doesn't check out because we have two positives. Okay, yeah, okay, you know what? I'm thinking too much about it. I'm just gonna go with it's Beta. The real one is Beta. Right? Okay, because like I'm not on my notepad I literally wrote out like if you're telling the truth you get a positive, if you're telling a lie it's a negative. And like the only one where you get two negatives and one positive is if Beta is telling the truth, because then Gamma and Alpha are lying. Okay, and it looks like we're right. Okay, cool, we got that. Okay, I can logic sometimes, not always, not often, not frequently at all actually, but occasionally I can logic. Yo, hey, Master General, welcome in, dude. This is giving me flashbacks of that Yu-Gi-Oh episode with the Paradox Brothers. You feel you should really finish this game. Recently trying to get into it. You regret not paying enough attention to Phoenix playing through it. It's a fun one, dude. The one Phoenix is playing is a little bit different than this one. But both games have like phenomenal stories. I really want to know. I really want to play the one he's playing, so I haven't been able to watch his streams, but I've been lurking, and I can't wait to play that one. How did you do that? Was I not understanding? What am I not understanding? Okay, so just to kind of explain it again, again, I'm not the best at these, so my explanation might not be good. But we have three characters: Alpha, Beta, and Gamma. Hold up, it's probably easier for me to just pull my. I don't think I could switch my notepad. I'll just have to explain it. But we have three characters: Alpha, Beta, and Gamma. Alpha said that they're real. Beta said that's a lie. He's real. And then Gamma said that Beta was the liar. Gamma did not claim to be real or a fake. He just said that Beta is the liar. So I just put like B is a liar. So in this scenario, there can only be one person telling the truth. Two folks are lying. So we need to have two lies and one truth. So I kind of just worked backwards through this. So if Gamma was the truth teller, then that means that Beta would be lying about being the real one. So essentially, if what Gamma is saying is true, Beta is essentially lying, and Beta would be saying that no, A is in fact real, I'm a fake. But that contradicts what A is saying, because A is saying he's real. So if A is also the liar, A would be lying about being real. Like it's essentially like these A and B can't like contradict each other, because like if Beta is lying about A being Beta lying means that Beta is agreeing that A is the real one, but A cannot be the real one if A has to be the liar, because A is saying okay, it's kind of what I'm talking about. It's kind of like it'd probably be ways for basically like Beta cannot be lying, because if Beta, it wouldn't work, because there has to be like two lies and one truth. So if Beta is lying, that means A also has to be lying, and that just doesn't really work out. There would be no real one. It's kind of hard to explain. It's like in my head, I don't know if you guys are like this too, but like it's like in my head it makes sense, and I can like see the like different sequences, but I'm not doing super great at explaining to it. But basically my logic was that like Gamma can't be the truth teller, because then you get Beta and Alpha contradicting each other. Alpha cannot be the truth teller, because then Beta and Gamma contradict each other. Beta being the truth teller is the only one that makes sense, because Alpha and Gamma like can be lying and it still makes sense. I don't know how to explain it, dude. It's even worse than the it's a tough one, dude. Also, I didn't realize my like big dome is right. Let me move this a little bit. Doing the corner. This surreal's even worse than the Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah, dude, I'm pretty familiar with it. It's like it's kind of like a classic like riddle, but I always forget how to like quickly solve it or how to explain it. But I've come across it a couple times in some like other shows and stuff. If Alpha were telling the truth, began Weiss in the dry tones of a lecturer, Beta and Gamma would be fakes. But in that case, Gamma's claim that Beta is a fake will be the truth, even though Gamma is a liar. Therefore, the theory crumbles. Now let us presume that Gamma spoke the truth. That makes Alpha and Beta liars. In this situation, however, Beta is calling Alpha a liar, which would leave us with two statues telling the truth. Finally, let us assume that Beta is telling the truth. If so, Alpha and Gamma's lies would make sense. Therefore, Beta must be real. There you go. That explains it so much better than me. But that's kind of the logic I was using to solve this one. It's right there. It's been a while since I've had to like work my brain like that. It's a little bit rough. As Weiss finished up his explanation, Alpha and Gamma crumbled soundlessly to dust, while Beta sprang to life once more. "Congratulations, villager," said Weiss in a cheerful voice. "The time to awaken has arrived. Thank you for saving me," cried the villager. He dropped to his knees and bowed his head as low as he could go before an uncomfortable Arcane pulled him to his feet. "Why did you dream like this?" asked Weiss. "Have you been to this city before?" The villager slowly looked around at the bizarre objects and sculptures that dotted the landscape, then shook his head. I don't think so. I mean, it's impossible, right? There's no way I could have been to a place like this. But at the same time, I feel like I've seen it before." "Deja vu," muttered Arcane, just like the mayor. The vague sense of unease that struck Arcane during the mayor's dream spread once more through his mind.
That was rough.
I am positive I have seen that place before.
Okay, that's enough. Okay, there. Now all the villagers can wake up, right?
Yes, if the mayor's assumption was correct. I think I have had enough wordplay to last a lifetime. Thank you very much.
You're telling me. Anyway, let's go see the mayor.
I thought I was a god. What a strange dream.
Okay. Man, I can't believe this turned into an Arcane Reads stream. There's so much reading, so much wordplay, so much logic and tracking that had to be done with all of the text that was being thrown at us. Very fun and challenging section of the game. Collect this. And also quick safety save. Okay. Pull up.
Oh, how wonderful. Thank you so much. Here, I have something for you.
Obtain the ward one-handed sword Faith.
Wow, this looks valuable. I can really have it?
Of course, it's apparently a weapon of some renown, but we have little use for it.
Well, we appreciate it.
Thank you again for everything.
Ooh. This thing's already like a bunch stronger, actually. Very nice. Okay, let's see if we get a boss fight. If we just go back to the village, that'll probably be it for tonight's stream. I wanted to keep it kind of short just because I have to get up early tomorrow to drive to work. If I did not have to drive to work, I would definitely stay up for another hour or two. But I gotta get up early. Got a donut waiting for me in a couple hours.
So how was the village?
Oh, it was truly magnificent. There are no words. Really.
Neat.
Let's get back to Popola. She'll probably want to know what's going on in there.
Okay. let's go talk to Popola. Ow. Okay. Missed that one up. All right, let's talk to Popola and see what she tells us and where the story is going to go from here.
The death dream certainly is a strange illness.
Yeah, it was something all right.
Even I, with my natural love for words, have no desire to visit that place ever again.
You guys did well. You've been making a lot of long trips lately. Are you sure you're not pushing yourself too hard?
I'm okay. I can't just sit around all day while Yona's sick, after all.
If you say so.
So, anything I can do for you?
Well, I suppose there is one thing I could use a hand with. Have you heard about our plans to repair the canal? The work probably won't happen for a while, but once it's done, we can use the canal for trade and travel and all kinds of useful things. Unfortunately, however, we're a bit behind schedule at the moment. If you're willing to help out, I'd really appreciate it.
No problem.
Great. So, the man I originally asked to help on this project hasn't shown up for work in a few days. I'm starting to get a little worried. So, maybe you can head over to... I'll mark the location of it. He always carries a red bag over his shoulder, so he should be easy enough to find.
Got it.
Very nice. So back to Seafront for the next section of the game. And again, I really would love to do that tonight, but I think I'm gonna have to call it here after I get this last save in. And yeah, it's been a fun one. That actually
A canal
was a very...
fascinating.
Hang
If
on,
we
I'll
had a
talk right
ferry,
now.
we could put these days of endlessly running about behind us.
Don't you just float everywhere anyway?
Do you think I am borne aloft by the winds, lad? It takes stamina to maintain this height.
Oh, really?
You could at least try to hide the utter dismay, you know.
Yeah, we will be ending the stream here. Made some good progress. I think that section we just did was pretty fun overall. Very different from what we normally do in this game, and it was fun. It was a good good exercise for my noggin. I was not expecting to read so much. I'm not gonna lie, my throat is a little bit sore. I've been recording a lot of videos for my Let's Plays, so I've been talking a lot for the past 4 days, and I was kind of expecting to not talk as much tonight. I wasn't expecting to have to work my throat so much, but it's fine. I'm not gonna talk much tomorrow. But yeah, that was a lot of reading. Usually we don't get that much reading in this game.
That poor girl.
But yeah, we're gonna call it here. We'll pick this up probably again on Monday. I'm pretty ahead in my recording, so I should be back to streaming at least 4 days a week, maybe 5. Depends if I can get some recording done on the weekend. I do have Monday off as well, so I might be able to do maybe a midday stream. Maybe we can even raid it to someone on the Twitch side. So yeah, I appreciate you all stopping by. You all make this a really fun hobby. Really appreciate all the support, all the lurkers, all the people chatting. You all are awesome. Big shout outs on the Twitch side to Jam, Ronan, the unit, Loot, Subliminal, did I miss anybody? Pickle, Tyler, Loot, anybody? Oh, Jam, Tater, Danny. Appreciate you all. You all make this a really fun hobby. So shout out to all of you. And on the YouTube side, shout out to you, Master General and SWAT, thank you both for dropping by, and I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your Friday and a fantastic weekend. We'll be back tomorrow playing Elden Ring, and maybe on the weekend I'll do a stream if I have time. But if not, see y'all tomorrow, and then we'll be back normal time on Monday. All right, catch y'all later.